What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today's project is a first for me. We're going to be taking a table that was given to me by a client for a restoration project. What you can see here for the base is it's actually a magazine holder, and what we're going to do is maintain this top, which I really like. It's a really cool like Mexican vibe design to it. We're going to take this top and build essentially new legs for it, something way more modern. They just want 4 simple legs for this tabletop to rest on, so very straightforward project, but it's kind of exciting for me because taking apart somebody else's work and kind of reworking it and making it something new, very exciting for me. I've never really done this before, but the first step for this process is going to be removing the top, which I actually already did, and I forgot to film it, so this is kind of like your before shot of what everything looks like. Again, first steps is removing the top from the original base, which is what we did. And the next step is making all the cuts for the legs and the new base for the legs. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and let me know what you think down below. For the legs, I'm gonna be using 2x2 pieces of pine at about 20 inches, which will make the table rest very closely to its original height of 21 inches. So again, 4 legs at 20 inches with this pine. We're gonna cut this, and we'll be moving on to the next step after that. Legs all cut, all 4 pieces at 20 inches. Next, we're gonna use this 1x4, also a piece of pine, and we're gonna cut the framing for said legs. Clips, I got all these sidings cut. Now what I'm gonna do, obviously there's this gap right here, and even with this centerpiece in, obviously there's no way to attach it. I could jig it, however I'm not 1000% confident in doing that, and I don't want to ruin the legs or any of this wood. So what my next idea is I'm gonna kind of take my remainder pieces of this pine, and I'm gonna cut the frame so that it attaches here, and so it'll all connect in the 4 corners that way. So that's the idea. We're gonna cut it and see how well this works. As you can see here, we got our 2 pieces cut in. Once this is all secured together, it gives you a rough idea. So imagine that, actually squared and in all 4 corners, and that's what it's gonna look like. Then we'll take our legs and secure them from the inside like that, and it will give us a nice outer finish like that. Again, it's really hard to do this part by myself. So it'll definitely look a lot better once I actually assemble it all together. So that's what we're gonna do next. All right, I take back what I said in that last clip. I was going to originally secure all this together, but then my big brain went to work, and I thought that it'd be smarter if I just sand everything, stain it really quick, let it dry for like about an hour, and then I'll assemble it all together. And yeah, so that's actually what I'm gonna do next. Is I'm gonna sand everything down, stain it, let it dry for a bit, and then I will assemble it. I cut off that last clip. I ended up finishing all of these. Reason why I had to cut off the last clip is because it started to rain outside and I had to bring blue in. But anyways, I finished these like corner pieces in. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach these to each part of my horizontal pieces of the frame. So I'm gonna connect them at each corner. And then once those are connected in at the corners, we're gonna connect the side pieces in so that everything fits snugly. Like these will, you catch the drift, something like that. So that is the next step, and we are gonna get into that now, and you'll just see what it looks like once that's all set. All right, guys, so I was in the middle of assembling that with all those corner pieces, And once I got the first corner done, I didn't really like not only how it looked, but I didn't like how unstable it was. So I took those out, took them apart, and what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to actually jig these into the corner post now. So you've seen me jig a bunch of times before with the Craig jig for pocket holes. So I'm just gonna do this real quick, and then we'll see how the assembly goes for each piece into the corner pieces. Well, the good news is that this pocket hole idea looks like it's gonna work. I feel a lot more confident now. This is my first time doing it with two different material thickness. Obviously, the side panel pieces are 3/4 inch pieces, and then the legs are 1.5 inches. And so this is the first time I've ever actually pocket holed different widths together. So for my first time, I'm pretty happy about it, and I feel much more confident about the stability of this. And so it's a perfect example of what woodworking really is, where you're trying to go through with your plan, and even if you make a mistake or it doesn't work out like you thought, you just kind of think on your feet, adapt, and think of a new plan. So that's what we did here, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, so I'm gonna just finish this up. All right, as you can see, we have finished assembling all the legs together. We got the pocket holes in there. The next thing I did is I just took some 3/4 inch plywood, cut it to the width of this gap, secured those in there, and then what that's gonna allow me to do is I'm gonna be able to use my screws to drive up into the bottom of the tabletop without damaging what the original tabletop looks like. And they're actually gonna end up lining up with pretty much the original holes where those screws were in the original piece. But for now, we are at a stopping point with this project because we are going to be sealing it, but I'm gonna let the stain dry, as well as there's another project that'll be a different video that is gonna be another restoration piece. But I need to use the brush to seal both this and that piece once it's done at the same time. So basically, you're gonna see like 2 videos in one almost in the future, soon. But yes, so for now, this project's paused. I'm very happy with how we were able to mimic pretty close to the same color. I think especially once we put on the urethane, it's gonna look very, very similar. I really like that the pocket holes are working within the legs, create a very nice modern design. And for a first time taking a furniture restoration, I'm pretty happy with the process so far. All right, so today is the day we're gonna seal up these legs. And this project, which was also a restoration project, I thought I was gonna make that into a video. I decided not to because it was pretty straightforward, just sanding and reapplying stain. So check out my IG to see the before and after. I'll leave the link to my Instagram down below. But now we are gonna seal up the legs, gonna seal up the front face of the drawer for this over here. And yeah, so those are the 2 next steps that we're gonna do. Let's do it. See here, we have finished sealing, sanded it down, have all the edges nice and smooth. The top is re-secured, and I also put on a floor guide so that, obviously the legs won't scratch up the floor now once the table's on the floor. And then over here we have this refinished, resealed, resanded, very smooth, very nice. I'm extremely happy with how both of these turned out, and that will be another project in the books. Thank you guys so much for watching. Any tips you have for me, comment below, let me know. Please leave the video a like, leave it a comment, subscribe, notification bell, turn it on. That's all I have to say about these projects. Kind of, again, my first furniture restoration. I'm really happy with the process, what I was able to do. Blue looks happy. And don't forget to check out the restoration of this second piece on my Instagram. I will leave my personal as well as my business page down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much. God bless.